If you try to avoid resistance, you never grow. Believe in your destiny, because your destiny is the roadmap to where you are going. It's also the trail that you've left behind. Life will make you rethink some of the things you think are permanent. If you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter who doesn't believe in you.
Hey, Dream Drivers, welcome to episode 343 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. And today we are going to be throwing it back to episode 229. We have a very special guest, gospel singer, radio personality, author, beauty entrepreneur, and fashion designer, Yolanda Adams. And I'm so excited for you all to hear from Yolanda today because she's going to be speaking to the soul of the dream drivers who are on the verge of giving up. We're going to hear from Yolanda about why believing in yourself is the fuel you'll need to keep going. And she's going to share pointers from her own life, including what it was like for her early on in her career, leaving her 9-to-5 as a school teacher to pursue her dreams of being a singer full time, what it was like managing single motherhood, spirituality, managing success, and entrepreneurship. But Yolanda's wisdom and her insight and just the grace in which she talks about these keys to success that dream drivers should always keep in mind as they're embarking on their journeys is going to be so fulfilling. And I originally talked to Yolanda for an Excel Nicole interview that I was writing. So parts of this conversation was used to write that article, and then parts of it for you dream drivers specifically. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this one. And the most important thing you can do is make sure that you're sharing it. So, when I say share, I mean you can screenshot, post on your social media, Instagram stories, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are. Just make sure you're tagging us. We are Dreams and Drive across the board. And you can also use the hashtag Dreams and Drive as well. If you want to be part of our weekly newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join and make sure you're wherever you're listening to this episode that you are subscribed. Okay, hit that subscribe button so that you get notifications every time we have a new episode. And if you're listening in on Apple Podcasts, please make sure you're leaving us a rating and review. Those reviews and those ratings mean a lot. And I also get people who ask me, hey, Raina, how can we support Dreams and Drive? So if you want to find out ways that you can support, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/donate. That's dreamsanddrive.com/donate. So we're going to start this interview a little bit differently. I asked Yolanda to talk about her music writing process and what goes into making a song.
My goal every time I go into the studio is to take out of my heart and put it on whatever tape, Pro Tools, whatever they're taping it with, to give it to people who need it. I figure if people are dealing with, wondering about the economy or whatever, let's talk about that. If they're thinking about jobs, let's do a song about that. If they're thinking about the love of their life, let's do a song about that. If they're thinking about loss, let's talk about that. Let's sing what the heart of the people need right now. And that's always been my thing. I've never gone into the studio saying, okay, let's do a song that will go on mainstream radio, or let's do a song that will go to the top of the gospel charts. That has never been my thinking. My thinking process when I start writing is always, who needs this right now?
Delivering that value.
Yes.
Your listeners. Let's talk a little bit about that gift, because you have a gift of music, right? You have a gift to sing, to really be able to truly, as you say, to use your music to heal, inspire, and encourage. But do you feel like you've always embraced that gift? Or at what point in your career did you fully embrace it? And what happened? What was that shift like once you did?
Well, the good part is that I've always seen it as a blessing to be able to come from my heart, write from my heart, sing from my heart, deliver from my heart. That has always been a true blessing to me, and I've never taken that for granted. There's never really been a shift in that because I knew the responsibility that came along with all of that power, because that's a lot of power to be able to get people from a point where they're so low that they feel they can't really go on, to making them feel so empowered that They don't even remember being depressed, or they don't even remember the regret or trying to give up. That's huge. So with that, you realize, hey, you're not doing this by yourself. There's a special power that's allowing you to give this to people so that they can make their lives better. And this song makes their life better. This performance makes their life better. And they can listen to it over and over again until they are so empowered that they get up and dust themselves off.
Yeah. And what I really love when I was researching a little bit about your backstory was how you had to make that decision at some point. So you used to be a school teacher and you had to make that decision to pursue music full time. What was that like for you? Because a lot of people who may have to make that decision or are in the process of making that decision for themselves, maybe you can give us some words of wisdom or what aided you during that time.
Well, here's what I say to anybody who has a specific call on their lives and they know they do. Never, ever think that where God is about to take you is less than where you are right now. God always promotes you. He never demotes you. So there will be a leap of faith moment where you have to say, okay, I can't do this the way I did this before, because I taught for 7 years before I went into full-time singing, because I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute now. I got the best of both worlds. I'm getting 2 and 3 checks in a weekend. I'm getting a specific check every 5th and 20th. I'm also getting my vacation time. I'm getting my, I'm also getting my Christmas break. I'm getting my Easter break. I'm getting my spring break. I'm getting all of these breaks, and I'm getting paid for it, and I get a chance to pour into the lives of kids. So I thought I had the best of all worlds until I couldn't get back to school on Monday. And it's like, now, wait a minute. You're going to have to make a huge decision. It took me a whole year to make the decision that, okay, I'm really going to do this full time. And, it wasn't a struggle to say I'm doing it full time. The struggle came with doubting myself and doubting the decision that I made. Mm-hmm. So people have, especially young women, in the face of what seems like is a no or a deterrent or something that that fights what you are feeling, we tend to say, well, I shouldn't have done blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not the truth. You will always, as long as you're living, breathing, and existing, and folks like Oprah and Tyler Perry and Richard Branson, all of these people will tell you, you never get to the point in your life where you have nothing to deal with.
A lot of people are trying to avoid having nothing to deal with.
Well, here's the problem with that. If you try to avoid resistance, you never grow. You know how when you're a teenager, your knees hurt or your ankles hurt or your back hurt just on GP? Well, those are called growing pains. We deal with them all of our lives. And so when you move from having a boss to being your own boss, now everything is really on you. So you have to make sure your books are right. You got to make sure that you are getting up in the morning, because here's the thing. When you get up in the morning and you have something to do and you have an assignment, you are more likely to achieve than someone who does not have that, that thing to wake up to and that thing to galvanize themselves around, Mm-hmm. I was thinking I was talking to a good friend of mine and she was saying, well, why is it that why do they kind of slip into depressions and all of this? I said, because they don't have anything to wake up to. They don't have anything to, they don't have anything that makes them say, I have something to contribute to the world. You've been on a job, let's say you've been on a job for 30 years or whatever, and then they tell you, okay, you have to retire. You take your retirement, you get your watch, and then you're wondering, okay, for the first week or two, you're like, I can sleep late. But then after that, what happens? if you are not occupying your time, and if you are not making sure that you have, that you're doing something with your talent, you lose your drive, you lose your stamina, you lose your purpose, you lose all of those things.
Dream drivers, what does it mean to be Black and unlimited? It means being exactly who you are, to be unlimited in your potential, to be unlimited in your creativity, to be unlimited in your imagination, and to be unlimited in your vision. Throughout the year, join Walmart in amplifying the voices of Black brands and creators, giving them a stage to spotlight their unlimited brilliance. That's Black and Unlimited. Visit walmart.com/Black and Unlimited to learn more. Dream drivers, Walgreens knows you need your medications, but sometimes what you really need is a prescription for more time with your family or friends, or just more time to do what you want on a Saturday afternoon. That's why Walgreens offers same-day RX delivery to where you are. So you can get more than just your meds. You can get your prescription to save time at the pharmacy. And when you have pharmacy questions, which let's face it, we all do, Walgreens will be there for you with a helpful 24/7 pharmacy chat. So when you need to know, which med do I take before bed again? Or, is it safe to have a glass of wine with my prescription? You can ask a Walgreens pharmacy expert that question no matter where you are or what time of day it is. And that gives you more than just answers. It gives you your prescription for peace of mind. Delivery is available on eligible prescriptions only. See details at walgreens.com/prescription delivery. The inspiration from others drive us forward. Their resilience pushes us to excel, and their path navigates the way towards freedom. Ford is proud to celebrate Black history, not just this month, but year-round. They're committed to being the fuel for change, supporting Ford Fund programs centered around economic, educational, and empowerment opportunities for our communities to continue creating the future. Learn more at fordfund.org. Built Ford proud.
And so I think it's the same thing with us when it comes to thinking that life will be problemless or problem-free. That's never going to happen. You will always have to deal with something. The thing is, wisdom and experience teaches you how to effectively deal with what you're dealing with.
I love that you mentioned that, because I think sometimes, especially when we think of celebrities, we think they've reached this point where they are problemless, right? And especially someone like you, who you have this illustrious career, you've done so many things. Was there a point in your career where you really had to sit down and work through a specific challenge? Is there something that you might be willing to share and how you were able to work through that challenge in your own life?
Oh my gosh, there's several things. I can tell you that when one of the things was trying to figure out how to navigate being a single mom at the time and trying to figure out how I'm going to be at home with my child to nurture a great person, because those of us who've been on the road all of our lives, and we always trying to figure out how we can make these transitions. And I said, God, I've got to be home most of the time for Taylor, because I don't want her to be one of those children that is raised by a nanny.
Latchkey kid.
She ain't gonna be no latchkey kid, but I'm just saying, and she had a great nanny, but that nanny could not take the place of mom. And so I asked God, I said, you're going to have to give me a situation where I can be at home Monday through Thursday, and I can go out Friday, Saturday, come back home Sunday, and be there again Monday through Thursday. And that's how the radio show came about. And so that is one of those things that, I didn't know where it was going to come from. I had not prepared for it. My first degree is radio, TV journalism. I knew I was experiential. I had the experiential knowledge. I knew I was prepared to do it, but I didn't know how it was going to come about. because, folks are like, well, then you'll probably have to move to LA. You'll probably have to move to New York. And those were out of the questions because my child had already established her friendships and everything. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, we're going to have to work this out. You're going to have to do this. And less than a week later, I got a phone call from my attorney saying, hey, would you like to go into business with such and such and such? And I'm like, yes. And so we had a lot of successful years with that show. As a matter of fact, my child was able to do all of her. I was able to go to every recital. I was able to go to every concert. I was able to do everything with her that I needed to do. But again, when you have to make adjustments, and this is how life is, life will make you rethink some of the things you think are permanent.
Yeah.
And I didn't miss a beat. The same people, when we told them, okay, she can't come on Wednesday, she can come on Friday, they were just as accommodating. Okay, well, that Friday is even better. So when you ask God for stuff in sincerity, knowing that your purpose is not just selfish, God will open windows and doors for you that you never even thought were possible.
I was on your Instagram, and I think you have a video where you talked about your daughter being sick on tour. And
yes.
You said that your daughter was, I don't want to mess this up, but you said something along the lines of she was made for you, in a sense, how she's this blessing that has really impacted your life. I think a lot of young Black women, oftentimes, I don't think they feel burdened by children, but sometimes we're told that, okay, if you have a child, your life is over. Like, what encouragement would you give to that woman who's struggling with balancing motherhood and all that comes with it?
Well, the first thing is, like you just said, look at your child as a blessing. Mm-hmm. Look at your children as blessings. They didn't just get here by happen chance. These kids have a reason for being here. And your responsibility first as a woman is to make sure that you are developing and nurturing and loving awesome, great people so that they can go out into the world and be awesome, great people away from you. I'm experiencing that now with my daughter being in college for her second year. And, the first year when I dropped her off, I was like, oh my God, my baby, my this. And, it was kind of tough because that's my road dog. That's my girl.
Cartier, Rolex, Gucci, Prada, Jordan, Adidas, Bottega, Veneta. At eBay, it's real or it's getting the fake out. eBay's team of luxury authenticators are making sure you never get faked over again. Watches inspected by watch aficionados, sneakers checked by legit sneakerheads, handbags examined by handbag connoisseurs, and jewelry in the scopes of expert gemologists. These authenticators are leaders in their field with meticulous eyes, making sure your piece arrives as authentic as your style and worthy of your collection. As experts, they know the true difference between a real and a fake. Real carries that rare, distinguished feel, the weight of pure platinum, exquisite scent of Togo leather, the tight stitching on a pair of dunks, the brilliance of real diamonds. So rest assured, your Rolex moves just like a Rolex should, and that colorway on your Jordan Royals will always be on point. The details inspected, the fakes rejected. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal with eBay's authenticity guarantee. Everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms.
And then this year, when I went to, when we went to fix her room and all of this kind of stuff, she had it so strategic that she had boxes for this, boxes for that. And by the time we finished making her room into what she wanted it to be, it was like, we went into the yard and folks were like, hey, girl, how you doing? And I'm like, you know what, Lord? Thank you so much, because she has found her village. And you could tell that there was actual love there between all of the folks that were glad to see her. And I was glad to see that this young woman that I had nurtured from my belly to now is having the time of her life. She has nurtured relationships that keep her sane at school and all of that kinds of stuff. And it was just, I was so proud at that moment that everything that I had poured into her was exactly what she needed at each stage and each year of her life. And now she's developing into this amazing grown woman that's like, whoa, this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think men and women have to understand that, this is not just something that you think about after, you've conceived the child. No, this is something that you should think about now. What am I bringing to the table for this child that would change his or her life for the rest of their life? What can I do to make sure that every day the sacrifices that I will make sense in another 18 years? Those are the kinds of things, because you can't look at it as a burden, because it's not. And whether you chose to have the child or, how some people, well, there was an accident, this happened and that happened. No, it wasn't an accident. God allowed that child to come here on purpose for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you love your child the way you're supposed to, that child will love you back in so many degrees of love that you could never get from anywhere else. And it's a pure love.
Thank you for sharing that, Yolanda. I asked you that question. I had someone specific in mind that has just been having a really tough time. And I just feel like what you shared can definitely help her and a lot of people as well.
And then here's the other thing. As women, we're so hard on ourselves for no reason at all. Tell her to give herself a break. Give yourself a break, girl. You are doing an amazing job. Even on those days when you think you have failed miserably, you're still doing an amazing job.
Thank you. You have your own handbag line, right?
Why do you think I have my own handbag line. I have my own bath and body products. The reason I did both of those projects is because, number one, with the handbag line, I can go in the store and buy anything I want. But does it make sense to pay all that money for that one bag, and then you have to keep using that one bag? Or do you want to be able to be, you want to use your bags as accessories and be fly and, color coordinate and all of that good stuff? So I found a guy who made purses for Bergdorf Goodman and Macy's and Bloomingdale's and, that manufacturer. And I said, hey, listen, I want the same quality, but this is the price point that I want. And I am so proud of my bags. Listen to this. When I tell you I have every kind of bag you can have in the world, from Hermes to Celine to Gucci to, I have all types of bags. But you know what I carry every single day? I carry YA handbags.
Yeah.
Every single day, and people are like, you really carry it? Listen, I'm meant for these bags to be affordable, accessible, and fashionable, period. And folks, I had a luncheon meeting today, and this young lady that I mentor, she said, Miss Yolanda, you really be carrying your own bags. That bag is fly right there. I'm like, I know. And so I want everybody to have at least one YA bag. She's like, I got you.
What's the biggest business lesson you've learned from, these different ventures you've had? Because a lot of people could say, hey, Yolanda, why are you even doing this? You have your music career. Like, what's it on the business side? What have you really learned about what it takes to truly grow a brand?
Well, here's the thing that I've learned is that brands take work. I don't care what your name is. And every person from Beyonce to Jay-Z to Puffy, everybody who has magnanimous brands, they can tell you it takes work. Your hands have to be in there. You have to put your foot to the pedal. You have to say, I believe in this with all my heart. I'm not letting it go. When people tell me no, I'm still looking for that yes. One of my mentors, B. Smith, told me stand on a mountain of no's to get that one yes.
Yep.
And so that is one of the biggest lessons that I have learned. If you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter who doesn't believe in you. You believe in your product. It doesn't matter who doesn't believe in your product. You keep believing until you see what you saw in your vision.
And a lot of us, I think also too, is we have to have that that long-term, what's the word? We're in it for the long road. Like, it really is a marathon, right? Because you could have given up, right?
Oh my God. Long-term goals for business owners and entrepreneurs have to have that marathon runner mentality. They have to, because what seems like an amazing idea in the beginning, you have that momentum the first couple of weeks out, you're doing everything you need to do and everybody's responding. And then in another couple of weeks or another couple of months, somebody else has a launch. But that does not negate the amazing product that you have. You just have to find a different way to get it to the masses. Social media is absolutely absolutely wonderful. Your relationships, those things that you have garnered over the years, being able to have somebody post for you, folks you respect saying, hey, I love this, I love that, so you just got to hang in there. Like I said, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and you still come out the winner if you hang in there.
I think a lot of us are struggling with our spirituality and we want to be connected more. Right. What would you say to that person who, because I feel like a lot of people listen to your music, they may not always feel as spiritually connected. Like, how did you make sure that you found your own connection with God? Because a lot of us we're all struggling. Not all, I don't want to say that. Some of us are struggling to find that spiritual connection. What's some encouragement you could give our listeners?
Well, the first thing is, again, breathe. Give yourself a break. Everybody, even the strongest of us, have those moments where we say, Lord, where are you? I can't feel you. I can't see you. It just seems like you're silent. Don't worry. You are not by yourself. Those are times when you get quiet. I tell people all the time, if you want to find God, get quiet. Get quiet, move away from the phone, move away from people, and then just ask the hard questions. God, what am I doing? What are we doing? Where am I going? How am I going to make it with such and such and such happening? Is this the end of this? What should I be looking for something else? You just ask those questions. And again, the silence and the quiet is where you find God. You're not going to find him loud on Instagram, although there's some great preachers on Instagram and there's some great teachers on Instagram, some great motivators, but you find him in your own spirit because he's inside. And stop looking for God up in the sky.
So to be a dream driver, you have to have your keys to success. So if you could tell our listeners, 3 things that have really helped you along your career, your life, what would they be?
My first dream driving key is believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, nobody else will believe in you. You've got to convince yourself that you're the greatest you that was ever created, because you are. That's number 1. Number 2, believe in your destiny, because your destiny is the roadmap to where you are going. It's also the trail that you've left behind. What are the lessons that you've learned? What have you garnered? What kind of knowledge have you garnered about yourself? So not only are you going to believe in you, you're going to believe in your purpose and your destiny. And then number 3, garner great relationships. Because your friends, your family, those people that you put around you will be your cheerleaders and your balcony people when you have no idea how you're going to make it. They will be the ones to say, you can do this, you keep going, and sooner or later you're going to hit those goals and you're going to be like, yeah, I did it.
and then how did you, was there a moment that you went from park to drive along your own career where you were just feeling stuck, but something happened and you put yourself back into drive?
It's hard. No, I'm always, I'm a Virgo. I'm always driving. I'm always driving, even when I should be still. So it's kind of hard, the going from, the touring so much to the radio. I guess that would be the more park kind of situation, as opposed to being in motion all the time, because park is not bad as long as you don't stay in park for 5 years.
That is so true. Well, thank you so much, Yolanda.
Oh, thank you so much, and have an amazing rest of your year.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Bye-bye. All right, so that's a wrap for episode 229 with Yolanda Adams. I hope you enjoyed her dream driving journey as well as her keys to success. And if you love this episode, you know what I'm going to say. Please, 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 please. This is Yolanda Adams, guys. This is a big deal. Can you please help me share this episode with as many people as possible? I want people to hear Yolanda's story from this perspective and hear all the insights, hear the keys to success that she shared, because I know for me, even when editing it, it was so uplifting and so motivating, and it really put this peace over me as I embark on year 4 of Dreams and Drive. You can screenshot it, post it to your Instagram stories, email it, post it to Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are on LinkedIn. Just make sure you're tagging us. We are Dreams and Drive across the board on all social media platforms, and you can use the hashtag Dreams and Drive as well. And if you want to be part of our weekly newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. And remember, wherever you're listening, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications every time we have a new episode. And if you're listening in on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and review. We don't have any new reviews this week, but I want to read yours. So please make sure that you guys are going into Apple Podcasts. It's really easy. Just go into the app, search Dreams and Drive, click on leave a rating and review, and leave us 5 stars, 4 stars, whatever you want, whatever you feel like is best. But those reviews really help people who have never heard of the show want to know about it. And they also help our rankings on Apple Podcasts as well. If you want to support Dreams and Drive, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/donate. I get a lot of people who are asking about ways that they can support. We do have a Patreon community, a thriving and growing one. So I appreciate everyone who's signing up weekly. Y'all are the best. We are in December, guys. We're a few episodes away from 4 years of Dreams and Drive. That's crazy, but I'm still super excited. And I can't wait to see what happens in 2020. As always, keep dreaming, keep driving, and we'll chat again in episode 230. Bye, guys.